Coming up on SAU News, find out more about the new faith-based station across the street.
Man, something just doesn't look right. I'm going to go down to the Samaritan Center so the Southern's Technology Department can give my car a free inspection.
And with us in the studio, we have Ethan White, who is running for Collegedale Commissioner.
Find out what's going on with your favorite football team this season. SAU News starts now.
Welcome back to SAU News. We hope you had a great midterm break. I'm Kendall Rittenour.
And I am Ben Lowery. SAU News is a weekly newscast brought to you by the School of Journalism and Communication. The university adopted a new academic calendar this year. It changed fall break from 2 days to only 1 day. I talked with students about what they did over fall break and how they felt about the change.
It really didn't affect my plans, except I had to skip class 1 day early because I wanted 1 more day off instead of just 1 day off.
I went to Six Flags with the LAC club.
I went climbing at the Red River Gorge up in Kentucky.
I stayed here all of the 1 whole day they gave us.
Over fall break, I went home to Fletcher, North Carolina. First, I visited my high school to see all my old buddies and catch up with them, and then I went home.
I went to Florida with my family to just spend time with them down there. We've been going there for ever since I was born, pretty much.
I went to Florida with the Korean church. There were like 60 of us, and then we just, hang out at the beach.
Missing that 1 day made it a lot harder to go to North Carolina with my friends like we had planned over the summer.
It was a really short break, so I just spent most of the time working on art projects.
I would much rather have a whole week off for Thanksgiving than a longer fall break, because I feel like Thanksgiving is more of a family thing and you can travel more, so I didn't mind it.
So Ben, what did you do over break?
Well, the school may have changed its scheduling, but I did not. I took Thursday off as well and left Wednesday for Georgia, stayed home. And Sunday I went to the Talladega NASCAR race.
Cool.
So what did you do over break?
Last weekend I was in Jacksonville, Florida. I was a part of a group of students from the School of Journalism and Communication who traveled to Jacksonville, Florida. We attended the Society of Adventist Communicators convention. The weekend was filled with workshops and networking opportunities. Sabbath morning, worship was led out by SAU students. Myron Madden and Siobhan Petgrave presented an interactive worship talk that encouraged professionals to use their talents for God creatively.
What we really wanted to do was make sure that everyone could use their skills, but also see that when they were using their skills, they could use them for God creatively and not just use them in a Sabbath school setting, but take what they've learned and apply it to something outside of Sabbath school.
Southern students also got to spend time at the beach and relax a little bit on their midterm break.
And Kendall, congratulations on winning the SAC award, Student of the Year award. If you hadn't heard, Kendall was recognized for his video production skills for all of his achievements, both in and out of the classroom. We have a picture of Kendall receiving his award at the Society of Adventist Communicators Convention in Jacksonville. Congrats.
This midterm break, SAU News reporter Georgia Standish went out to find out about the Technology Department's free car inspection.
Last Sunday, the School of Technology offered free car checkups just outside the Samaritan Center. Auto service students and staff inspected inside the car, in the trunk, and under the hood, checking oil levels and a variety of other components. Tire pressure is a safety issue auto techs find often, and for second-year student Stephen Hayes, safety is key.
We just like to check cars normally right before winter and right before summer when everyone's traveling, make sure everyone's out on the road safe, and make sure no one, breaks down on the road, hopefully.
The rest of the tires are a little low, but
Each part of the inspection was carefully logged, and any problems were explained to the car owner. We're here in the parking lot of the Samaritan Center in Ottawa, and Southern's Technology Department is giving free car inspections. Everyone who comes gets this vehicle checkup form. Looks like I need to get my transmission fluid replaced. Cones were used to block off a section of the parking lot for clients to drive in for the free service. Free price tag doesn't mean it's an easy job, but it definitely encouraged drivers to come by.
we were driving by and he said, let's stop here.
Not only were clients able to get a free checkup, but auto students also got real-world experience. For SAU News, I'm Georgia Standish.
If your car needs a tune-up, you can make an appointment with Ledford Hall in the auto shop.
This past Sunday, local community members came to search for treasure at the annual Flea Market in the Towage parking lot. People set up booths to sell their homemade handicrafts and a wide variety of knickknacks. Over 50 booths spread out over the lot with an incredible array of merchandise. Some vendors were looking to get their hands on certain items, while others offered free services or food. There are some very interesting things for sale. For Southern students and other people at the market, the most exciting booth was the one with puppies for sale.
I don't know his name. I shouldn't name him because then I'll probably want to keep him. Just a puppy here at the flea market. He's 5 weeks old. He's so precious.
Last year the market encountered rain, but this time fair weather brought out a crowd. Lots of customers came looking for good deals.
Driving around Collegedale, you can't miss signs that remind you an election is just a couple weeks away. On November 4th, voters will cast ballots for governor, U.S. Senate, and for 2 seats on the Collegedale City Commission. One of the local commission candidates is former Professor Phil Garver, along with Collegedale Mayor John Turner, who is seeking re-election. Collegedale has a total of 5 elected commissioners who, once elected, serve 4-year terms.
You may recognize one of the names. He's someone many of us have known as a student here on campus. Ethan White is a former SA officer and currently finishing a degree in archaeology.
Ethan, welcome to SAU News.
Thank you, glad to be here.
It's been a while since a student ran for elected office in Collegedale. What persuaded you to run?
Well, I've always been involved in politics. I helped on a congressional race here recently, and I just love being involved in politics, and I thought that with there being an open seat on the Collegedale Commission, it was a great time to throw my name in the hat and see what happens.
Besides going to school full-time, I understand you're also working at your dad's real estate agency, and now you're running for commission. How do you balance your time?
Very carefully. Sometimes I don't get to do everything I want to do. Sometimes real estate takes a back seat. Sometimes school, unfortunately, takes a back seat. However, I'm trying to put the campaign in forefront, at least for the last few weeks that are coming up. The election is less than 2 weeks away, so we've been working really hard, getting out, meeting voters, talking issues, and making sure that we represent the people of Collegedale well.
Well, I think we could all take some pointers in time management from you. So what are some things that the city is facing over the next 4 years?
Some of the big things that the city may be facing over the next 4 years is growth. The widening of Apis and Pike is taking place. With that comes development. And right now the city isn't really or hasn't taken a strong, hard look at what that growth is going to look like. One of the things that I'm running on is intentional planned growth. And that looks like going out and talking to business owners, talking to property owners, and making sure that we are being very intentional with the land that we have. Collegedale has a very unique look about itself. You know, it's a lot of undeveloped land. So we want to do things to make sure that Collegedale stays unique, stays a good hometown, a good place to raise your family. So we need to be intentional about that growth. I think that's the biggest thing that it faces. With that growth, though, can come other things. Growth comes crime. So making sure that public safety is key in the focus of the city, making sure that the police department is one of the best police departments that the area has, which it currently is. Collegedale's ranked 10th in the state for being a safe city, which helps property value and makes it a great place to live.
A lot of students watching this are wondering how they can vote for you. What are some things that make them eligible, and when are elections?
Well, one of the big things that makes them eligible is that they live here on campus or in the area. Federal law states that if college students live most of their time at a university campus, they are allowed to vote. However, Tennessee has a state ID voter requirement, which means that either someone voting needs to show that they are a Tennessee resident by showing a Tennessee form of ID, or by showing their U.S. passport. So if students want to vote, they can, if they are already registered. If they haven't been registered, it's too late. That ended October 6th. But if they have already registered and they have either a passport or student ID, they can vote on November 4 at City Hall.
Well, Ethan, thank you for joining us. I hope elections go well for you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Our local campus radio station, WSMC, is adding a new faith-based programming stream. WSMC 90.5 has been on the air for more than 50 years, but station management says their audience has longed for a radio signal that broadcasts religious programming. Now, with the support of the university and the community, the station can start this new ministry. The station has collaborated with the School of Religion to reach the community at large with sermons and devotionals.
That's such a good opportunity.
Broadcasts will include the Voice of Prophecy and recordings of former professor Jack Blanco. Listeners can hear the new station called Oasis on the station's website starting this Friday at sundown.
The university's internet portal for students, faculty, and staff got a facelift. The new portal was launched earlier this week and is now in full effect. Information system officials say that the previous portal was in use for 7 years and needs an update. Now, instead of the same front page, there are 3 different home pages designed for employees, students, and alumni. Some of the new tools include a personal calendar alerting individuals of upcoming assignments, tests, meetings, and more. Officials say that they are open to feedback and more improvements will be made to the portal to make the site better.
Flag football season is always a hit this time of year. SAU News reporter Natasha Mirilov is out on the field to see what's going on.
So we're due. Is there this to do?
These girls have a strategy to win. The team calls themselves eclectic.
Tackled. So yeah.
I think that we are pretty structured. Like we're right over there planning right now. They're writing out a plan and we're gonna try to make it happen tonight.
With tonight's temperature dipping into the 40s, that is quickly forgotten once the games begin.
It is really cold. I think just the fun of being here. I mean, there's so many people and it's fun to watch the games and it's fun to play. And
the football intramurals follow the NERSA rules, which change every 2 years. So whenever this happens, the captains are informed and it's their job to make sure that their team plays accordingly.
I guess it's just keeping up with all the new changes and all the new rules, and sometimes players will get adjusted to certain rules, and then then the rule book changes, and then we have to try and refresh them too. So that can be a little challenging sometimes.
Sometimes the players get confused, and even the referees can get mixed up.
Yeah, there are times I get frustrated at the referees, but they're cool. They're my friends, so it's kind of hard being mad at them. Yeah, so sometimes we get upset at them.
For intramural director Troy Walker, the most important thing is that students are having fun and staying active.
There's so much activity for the students at Southern in intramurals, let alone there's all sorts of other activities too at Southern. I think that's amazing. I think that's really cool.
Flag football will wrap up with rain-out games to determine this year's champion. For SAU News, I'm Natasha Mirilov.
It's definitely getting colder every night. Are you playing this season?
I am. My team is Rushing Roulette.
Clever name. Intramurals are about to make a transition from football to basketball. So if you are interested in playing a sport with a team, make sure to sign up this week for 3-on-3 basketball.
And coming up next week on SAU News, local police and fire departments invite students to celebrate America's National Night Out Against Crime.
And I will be at Improv. Watch to find out more. SAU News is a joint production of the TV News and Multi-Camera Production class here in the School of Journalism and Communication. I'm Kendall Rittenour.
And I am the Ben Lowery.